Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome you back to another episode in our Planet Zoo franchise mode Let's Play, where we're going to be diving right back into Elite Zoo South. Except, actually, that's a bit of a lie. We're going to be heading to Elite Zoo North very briefly at first, not going to be making any changes there or anything, but there is a little bit of work I need to do at Elite Zoo North before we can continue down at Elite Zoo South. So just going to hop back on in, and this will actually give any of you that are new viewers, I suppose, to Season 2 of our Planet Zoo franchise mode Let's Play. It'll give you a quick glimpse at Elite Zoo North, what we did for those 100 episodes. Now, those of you that, didn't follow along or didn't watch to the end or whatever it might be, if you're curious to see how things ended up in that previous zoo or, where it got to with sort of details, we have actually episode 100 as a full tour episode. So it's a great way to kind of see what we did, what we accomplished, and hear the stories of all the lessons we learned and how we learned them. Today, the reason why I'm going back to Elite Zoo North briefly is just to pick up, or at least take a look at our options for crocodiles, because as many of you pointed out, it seems like we might have an issue with the age of our crocodiles at Elite Zoo South, and I don't want to pick up new animals. One of the things I wanted to do was carry animals over from Elite Zoo North to Elite Zoo South as a bit of a, handoff, if you will, something to connect the two zoos at the beginning of our Season 2. Unfortunately, it's not gone as smoothly as planned. Those two, failed conceptions have definitely caused me some concern, and many of you in the comments agree as well. It's a little concerning that that happened, and it might be because of age, even though I feel like we should be fine. We should be in the clear for age, because typically when an animal is too old, it lets us rehome the animal as opposed to release it to the wild, and I did not see the rehome button for the crocs. But nonetheless, we'll check it out. I can't remember off the top of my head if we have viable candidates at Elite Zoo North still, and we're going to find that out, and then head back on down to Elite Zoo South. I hope y'all don't mind this little, what shall we call it, slight detour, I suppose. But yes, this is, those of you that have never seen this zoo before, this is where we ended up. Again, episode 100 is a massive tour, if you want to check out, everything we did, how we did it, why we did it, all that kind of stuff. So a couple of things, actually. So first of all, let's go ahead and take a look at the animals we have over here, because we do have Banyu here. We have a couple of females as well, but unfortunately they are all related. If I'm not mistaken, then Banyu is actually also related to, where's your stud book? Yeah. Whoa, they're not dead. Why does it say they're dead? They're not dead. They've been moved. But yeah, they're all related. That's the thing. So what I could do is I could take Banyu over to Elite Zoo South, and then get ourselves a different new female saltwater crocodile instead. Banyu's genetics are pretty good as well. He's super young too. I think it'd be nice. It ends up being sort of a 50-50 split of the old and the new, so to speak. And maybe we bring our old couple back over here. I'm not sure why it says they're dead, because they're not. Ooh. Elok, not sure how to pronounce that, but let's check here. Banyu is a silver. You know what that tells me? That tells me that maybe we take Mummy instead. Take a look at the genes here. They're solid genetics. Let's take a look at the stud book as well. Same pair. Oh, no, unknown. No. No, you're definitely related. No? Am I mistaken? In that case, that's actually great, because then we can keep our male at Elite Zoo South and swap in our a new female in the form of Elok over here. So fair enough, let's go ahead and put you to the trade center. Definitely glad I came back. I hope I'm not misremembering, and if I am, then it's fine. Gold rated, great appeal, great genes. It's the right choice, and then we'll do that 50-50 split if we have to, or we can just pull Elok over. More saltwater crocs are about to mature as well. It's kind of funnily like poetic in a way. The other thing actually, which was really funny to me, is that the current community challenge is an India challenge, and all we have to do is release 3-star animals from the Indian subcontinent to the wild. I'm wondering if I should take a moment out to just kind of do that at 1.3 days left. We have a lot of, we don't have that many adult elephants or anything. We did a massive trade session in episode 100 as well. Now, you know, we do have quite a few. I don't know how many of them are 3-star animals, but, oh, I think quite a few of them will actually be 3-star animals. Okay, and then some of them won't be. Well, it's something to think about. I'm not going to bog us down with this today, but y'all let me know what you think in the comments about maybe going through and taking advantage of this community challenge, because who knows what we might get from it. It'd be nice. Like, there are some nice rewards, seemingly. I mean, it's good to help the community out as well, right? Anyway, folks, that's all I wanted to do at Elite Zoo North. I wanted to make sure we had our animal, or appropriate animal, in storage. Just want to check before we leave and have to go through loading screens again. But don't you worry, I'm going to edit the loading out. No one wants to sit down and the multiple loading screens. As I do the double check over here, though, on the saltwater crocodile, I just want to mention quickly, folks, if you've been enjoying the series thus far, whether you've been watching from season 1 or you've just joined us, right, I guess I gotta unpause, right? Or you've just joined us with season 2 and you enjoyed the first episode and like where things are headed, based on what we might call a little bit of a tease of what we're capable of around these parts, then don't hesitate to let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. It makes a massive difference, as I always say, in how I approach content on the channel. I'll look at the number of likes and comments to get a quick read on what people are interested in seeing on the channel. And on top of that, I do read through each and every comment. In fact, just a little fun fact I want to share. Last episode, y'all came through over 600 comments. It took me 2 hours to go through all of them, but it brought me such joy seeing your joy. So yeah, do keep the comments coming, folks. I keep an eye out for suggestions, ideas, thoughts, opinions, and anecdotes, or whatever it might be. Anyway, let's get out of Elite Zoo North and head back down to Elite Zoo South. And as we fly over from Elite Zoo North down to Elite Zoo South, I just want to touch on a couple of things on the topic of comments that I saw mentioned in the comments. So let's go ahead and, oh, it looks like there's a sandstorm going on. But let's go ahead and dive on in. And as I do that, just want to touch again on a couple of things that I saw noted or mentioned. For one, in terms of playing on hard difficulty, many of you have brought up a couple of concerns that I want to address right off the bat. One of those concerns is that many of you really don't want to see any, dealing with enrichment issues and how enrichment kind of started bogging things down as we went along with Elite Zoo North. And then that's when they made the change to medium difficulty. I feel like at the opening, we'll be fine. It's not going to be that much of a pain and it's not going to be that much of a bother. But maybe as we go along and when we have, 10 animals or something, maybe we switch to medium difficulty just to make things smoother. The reason why I like the idea of hard difficulty and the reason why I personally enjoy franchise mode so much is because of the challenge, because of the threat. Last session was super fun for me because we went, nearly bankrupt and we had to take a loan. That kind of stuff adds a little bit of thrill, I suppose. So that was the logic behind hard mode. But we can tone it down to medium if we start getting bogged down by minutia and boring things. Now there's quite a bit to do. I'm pretty sure I can let time move forward. I think the reality is, actually, let's go ahead and unpause and let time move forward. I'd like the rain to go away. But I think the reality of today's episode, folks, just to be upfront about it, is I don't think we're going to have a time lapse today. Again, normally my plan is every session is going to be split, have at least one time lapse, and then have a bunch of management stuff happening as well. But I think it's a good idea to maybe take a moment right now and get some work done to make sure that we continue on with that pattern in the future, and we can keep things going smoothly in the future. Actually, hold on. I just realized I do need to swap my animals in, right? Let's go ahead and do that. Now, just because there's no time lapse doesn't mean there won't be any development either. There's plenty to do. So don't worry about that. I've got some plans. Again, we spoke about it briefly last session with regards to what we do to get our funds back in order and things like that. So I've got some plans. Now, what's funny to me is that I can actually quick trade all the animals. This is a loophole, it feels like, but I can quick trade all the animals we have in storage to make a quick emergency buck if I need to. I'm not feeling it. I don't feel that desperation, but if push comes to shove and we really need the money desperately, we can do it, right? But we're not there yet, and I'd like to not be there if we're not there. Does that sentence make sense? I don't know. You know what I'm getting at. Yeah, so let's go ahead and check Elock over here. I could have sworn, oh my god, they're not related. I am so glad I checked. I am so glad I checked. All right, this is pretty good, actually. Overall, size might take a bit of a hit from its maximum potential, but, you know, it's not bad. Longevity's pretty good. Fertility, yeah, okay, pretty good. Looks like it's overall going to get higher than either of them, even at its lowest. And immunity might drop ever so slightly, but this is good. This is good. A viable mate. Now, I mean, Kadek is pretty old as well, but if you take a look over here, I'll show you what I was looking at. Where are you two? Last I remember, they're down over here. Look at them just chilling down over here. Yeah, so yes, it does say they're old. However, at the bottom over here, it says we can release them to the wild. Normally, if an animal is too old for breeding, it says rehome instead. Nonetheless, Ratu, you've been nice to us. You've been very kind to us. You've been beautiful for us. But it's time to move you to the trade center, and it's time to get a new mate for Kadek here, who, again, is also pretty old, but is able to have babies, I'm pretty sure. Let's go ahead, and one way to make sure, obviously, is to check the Zoopedia, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, age of sexual sterility is death. So we got some time. Not a lot of time, but we got some time. Let's make use of it, right? So where were we? Animal trading. From our animal storage, we want to get Elock moved down to here. There we go. Beautiful. Delivery scheduled. Now, typically I put up a nice big sign and stuff as well for enclosures to have their name put up, but we're a little, yes, low on cash, thank you, game. So rather than do that and you know, jump to a situation or circumstances where we continue to make ourselves more broke, for now I'm just going to put the name down officially, and we just need to remember to put the name down. I was thinking of putting it down over here when the time comes, but after countless amazing suggestions in the comments, one blew me away. It really hit a nerve, and clearly it did so for many of you as well. It was suggested a handful of times, and one of the times it was suggested, it straight up got 100 likes. It was very difficult to pick because there were some really great suggestions, but the one we're going with is Cockroach. Not only is it, of course, a reference to the animal, but it is also a reference to Elite Zoo North and the first enclosure we had over there, which was Wolf Rock. So that's what I mean. It really did. It struck a chord. It struck a chord. So Cockroach it shall be. I've got name suggestions, wonderful name suggestions for our stalls as well, for the stores up front. So we'll get to that as well. But just wanted to make sure that Elock arrives nicely and that higher appeal should definitely draw more attention as well. And this frame rate, so nice to see the game run smoothly again. I could probably raise the water a little bit. Many of you were suggesting that. That's the first time I've actually seen one get into the water like that. I'll adjust the water when it's not occupied. Feels mean to do it otherwise. All right, so that's that taken care of. I'm gonna keep things playing so we can keep money flowing, because we definitely need to get that done. That's kind of important. The drink stall. Oh my god, this name suggestion. 5 o'clock somewhere, because it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So you got to get a drink. I love it. Again, it's one of those things that the kids won't get, but you know, mommy and daddy might. And then we've got our hot dog squad. Again, an excellent suggestion. Actually, this one was dropped into our Discord as well. If you're not already in our Discord, link is in the description down below. Highly suggest joining it and joining us for, you know, just chills and good times. Gator bites. Beautiful. Beautiful. And then we've got our info center over here. Now, I wasn't sure exactly how we wanted to spell this, but Crocopedia. You know that weird AE thing or not? I don't know about that, but Crocopedia it is and it shall be. And then we've got our Looney Balloons over here, which is right. You know what? I know I'm going to get another souvenir shop, so I'm going to save this name suggestion for later because it'll be a more fitting store. But we still, in that case, need a name for Looney Balloons because I can be particular like that at times. It was also suggested that we get an ice cream vendor, which is not a bad idea at all. It's so hot, people are feeling the heat, that's for sure. Maybe getting an ice cream vendor you know, to mirror these guys, get an ice cream vendor over here wouldn't be a bad idea. And we are able to afford more donation bins, so let's go ahead and start putting some of them down as well. The reason why the zoo has kind of leaned heavily on one side so far is because I wanted to avoid having to buy stuff for this side if I could. But it seems people are now using this side as well, so fair enough. There we go. Gotta get those bins down as well, right? Now, we might have, you know, one too many bins, so let's go ahead and move a couple of these over instead. Go ahead and move you over to here, and let's go ahead and move you over to here, because these guys are getting some use. Right, and let's go ahead and move you over to here, and move you over to here. I'll be adjusting these things a little bit more as well, so it's more nicely central. I mean, in fact, I could probably just do that, and that will probably do the trick. Though this center is going to see a bit of a rework. That central area is going to see a bit of a rework today. But yeah, folks are coming through. Money is coming through as well, slowly but surely. We'll be out of the hole we dug ourselves, right? For this grandeur. It's part of the fun for me. Again, it's part of the thrill. Overall profits, nice. Go ahead and claim that 1,000 reward. That's huge for us. You know, as far as a percentage of our current finances is concerned, $1,000, that was 20% when we won it, when we got it, right? So that's huge. People are coming through okay. Let me just check real quick. Time has just flown by. That's enough fun for one day. Better go home soon. Okay, well, happiness is up. Education is problematic. What is actually the cost? I forget now. Looking at the wrong screens here. What is the cost of those education boards? These ones, $30. That's not bad. That's not bad. I would very much like to get some of these up, and we'll style these later on when there's a bit more money to work with. We're going to be styling these stores as well. We're going to be building stilts and legs and stuff for them, so don't worry about that. I know it's a little kind of, well, it's definitely very unrealistic looking right now. Really hefty cantilever work over here, I suppose, but we will be naturalizing it a bit, if there's any word for it. I'm going to go with that one. So for now, I'd like to put an education board, one of these conservation boards down over here. Let's go ahead and pop another one down on the other side. And again, we're going to be creating like a grand entrance space, right? So I know it can be hard to see, but trust me, I can see it. I know what I've got planned. It's going to be monumental. So hang in there with me as we you know, get our money together and start making some serious profits, and it's gonna be glorious. It's gonna be glorious. I'm super excited, actually. Let's go ahead and adjust some of these as well. Y'all pointed out. Again, thank you. This is why I say, I read all the comments. Y'all notice things that slip by me. For example, I had a cooler there going down to 0 degrees, and that, you know, won't be pleasant either. Imagine coming dressed for 30 degrees and being hit by 0 degrees instead. It is a nightmare. I think people are overall okay. This zoo could do with expanding a little. Okay, well, I'm about to. All right, just give me a second. All right, here's what we're gonna do. First of all, as far as our staff is concerned, as y'all have rightfully pointed out, quite a few of these vendors. Oh wow, high workload across the board, eh? Well, they could use some training for sure. Let's go ahead and train them up right away, because if I'm completely honest, I almost feel like vendors and caretakers are the prime candidates for training up, because they directly influence how guests feel. They directly influence how guests feel. Now, what I'd like to try and do, I was gonna say, like setting up specific stalls for each vendor is a nice way to make sure that each stall has the right amount of vendors working it. But at the same time, I would like to be able to assign the break room so that our vendors are going to the right break room and they're not going to some random one in the middle of nowhere, right? I will be adding another break room closer to the front as well. Y'all are very much right. The vendors have a long journey to the break room. We'll sort that out. Right now, it seems to be okay. Right now, we seem to be fine, but we'll make sure we stay fine. Let's go ahead and assign y'all the work zone here. Get all the vendors in the center. Let's go. I guess this is another good way to... What I might do is I might make a secondary work zone, which is center stalls or center vendors or whatever it might be, and use that to keep things organized. But that should do the trick for now. I want to make sure we don't let all these things overwhelm us eventually. All these little things. How are we doing over here? Still making that money. Still making that bank. We good? Yeah, we good. We good. Of course, after I put everything down over here, nobody goes there anymore. That's fine, though. So, people are enjoying this central spot a fair bit. My plan was, as we discussed sort of briefly last session, my plan was to make this area a little bit wider and give it some of the exhibits. We've got 3 exhibits, if I'm not mistaken, that we can do down over here. We've got the, not the rattlesnake, no. What was it? It was the eastern brown snake, that's what it was. So we've got the eastern brown snake, we've got the giant burrowing cockroach, and I believe there was a 3rd animal, and I thought it was a snake, actually, that can go down here as well. But I only see 2 snake options. I could have sworn there was one, but I'll double check, make sure some other time. But either way, if it's going to be 2 exhibits, ultimately, what we'll do is we'll have them on either side of this central space, and if there's going to be 3, then I wanted the 3rd one to go down in the middle or something. And I feel like it'd be a good spot for folks to stop at, see another animal, and then continue on up to here, where Buddy here is just kind of chilling all on his own. Oh, he looks like he's having such a good time. He, yes. Come on, I need you to get down to business, buddy. I need you to get down to business. I need some baby crocs. But I don't want to make these adjustments while people are crossing it. It's funny, you know, before I sat down to record today, I was like, yeah, this is the ideal, this is the prime spot for this adjustment. But now that I'm seeing how people move through it, now I'm having second thoughts about it. The reason why I think it's ideal is because it's in the center, people are going up there anyway, it'll give them something to do on the way up or on the way down, an excuse, a reason to give donations. I think either of these flanking spots are options as well for those as well, but people are already going down the middle, is my thing. Yeah, I think I'll stick to my plan of doing it down the middle. We can always adjust it. We can always adjust it later. Align to grid. Get that width up. And actually, I guess what I need to do is... Right, I guess what I need to do is... set up our facilities. And... You know what I just realized? They actually assigned the... let's go with Amphibian Extinction Crisis. And... I guess deforestation? I'm trying to figure out stuff that kind of makes sense given the climate change. Given the environment that our zoo is in. I think climate change is very relevant. I was thinking deforestation because of, you know, of course, the highly common fires and whatnot, but climate change is kind of works in that same world. So maybe. Again, y'all let me know. Everything's up for discussion, I would say. I love hearing other people's thoughts, seeing other people's thoughts, and implementing what I think makes sense. Yeah, I'd like to put this out over here, but I'd like to get all around it. That's where things get funny with these things, with the exhibits. How's money looking? We made a lot of money this year. That's good. Now 1,000 of that was the reward we earned. I'm fine with that. But I do think getting one of these early is a good idea. Not only because it's another place where people can stop and see an animal, but also because it is... Oh, you know what? I could do this. Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. Now, is that better or worse? Because what I was planning on doing was putting it down over here, having 360 viewing, and then dropping barriers so that the crocs couldn't get underneath it. But instead, I could put it down over here, and now people can come in from both sides, and I guess that adds more viewing spots. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Okay, let's try that. Again, we can always adjust it if it doesn't work as planned. We can always adjust it. Cool. Go ahead and try and make this as perfect as possible. And as tempting as it is to make this like... No, we're not going to do that. That doesn't look right. That looks silly. That looks silly. Go ahead and level this. Right, that looks silly, right, guys? Right? Absolutely second-guessing myself over here. That does look like it's right down the middle, though. We've got roughly... yeah, that looks right about down the middle. Maybe a little bit over to this side. But you know what? I think we're fine there. Yeah, okay, fine. And then now there's a reason to go up this way as well. Actually see full usage of everything. And when people start going up there, when the zoo's more crowded, we'll see more action and better use of this space as well. Go ahead and do that. Alright, cool. Done. And got almost 10k. Close enough. Done. Now, the reason for doing an exhibit... the reason for doing an exhibit first is not only, you know, it's another animal, they breed, they'll bring more crowds in, people will put money in the donation bins. Not only that, but also because of their offspring and how quickly the offspring comes and how they can be sold for a decent bit of money. Now, I can't remember how profitable the giant burrowing cockroaches were at Elite Zoo North when we got them there. And we're certainly not going to have any baby roaches without a breeding pair, so that's a bit of a problem, thank you, game. Come on. Come on, you know what I need. Staring at these roaches for too long. Okay. The eastern brown snake, we've got a pair. So, oh, and we've got a... This is not ideal. I would have preferred the roaches, but you know what? Something is better than nothing. Go ahead and adopt you. I like living a life of risks. Those of you that are familiar, listing expired. Are you kidding me? Oh, God. That's the downside of a life of risk. That's fine. That's fine. We have a gold-rated eastern brown snake. So let's go ahead, send you to the zoo. Something to get us started, right? Something to get us started. And if I'm not mistaken, all the research is done already. All the research is done already. Make sure this is intentional, because the game otherwise thinks it's not. Keeper can't reach that, that's fine, that's fine. So that's intentional as well. And let's go ahead and assign the work zone. Where are we? Right, under staff, work zone. Go ahead and add you in. Cool. I think that'll work out for us. Anyway, let's go ahead and turn that light on. Sorry, it's been dark for so long. And let's go ahead and get the layout upgraded. Not yet researched, really. Oh, right, because we didn't have the eastern brown snake. All right, fair enough. We have a vet. Do we have a research center? I forget now. I do. Okay, good. So, our first research of the zoo. Huh. Wild. Let's go ahead and get Bernice on there. Let's not wait any longer. Oof. And let's try and make sure these animals are well taken care of. I feel like this donation bin and this donation bin is close enough. We'll find out. We'll find out. I will have to move some of these, though. Alright, let's go ahead and move you over to here. Because now we do have that overlap. And not just that, but we also have to change what we're teaching people about on this little walkway over here, right? Let's move you as well. Watch, this is going to actually break everything, and we're going to stop making money off of the crocs now. Knowing my luck, that's exactly what's going to happen. Knowing my luck, that's exactly what's going to happen. Alright, now why did I see red over here? No, it looks like we're good. Cool. Let's go ahead and reduce the range on this a little bit. Yeah. You are... What's wrong with you? No power. Oh, let's see. Nudge you up over there. Fine. Nudge you down over here. There we go. And let's go ahead and get ourselves the education boards. No one's come to see the snakes yet, but that's because I think the guests that are in the zoo right now don't know that the snake exists. As funny as that sounds. I do want to get, though, education board. These tiny little education boards. And eventually I might even square this off. That way people can transition from one side to the other if they want to. But for now, let's just go ahead and pop you down over here. And pop you down over here. There we... Come on now. Okay, guess I gotta manually place this thing. No worries. There we go. Cool. Oh, I guess I didn't actually add it to the group. Fair enough. Go ahead. Eastern brown snake for both of you. Again, hopefully it'll draw some people in. Either way, it's going to be a fine expense. It'll be worth it, I'm sure. I think. There you go. Can't wait to see the Eastern Brown Snake exhibit. Boom. Didn't take too long. Didn't take too long at all. But give me my female snake. Come on. Why are you doing this to me, game? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Least concern. I mean, they're still interesting animals. 23, yeah, we got everything set up properly. Now, should we name the exhibits this time around as well? For Elite Zoo North, we didn't name the exhibits, so y'all let me know about that. Went on down here, very splishy splashy. I like it. Very active, these animals. Money's still looking good. It is the 25th of December. What are the chances we stop on Christmas? And this is, you know what? This is accurate Christmas for the Southern Hemisphere. Also, you know, Australia, where, from my understanding, it's just 40 degrees all day, every day. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my understanding of it. Yeah, okay, we're making some good money, folks. We're making some good money. 5K made this year. We spent 3K on this, so feeling comfy. Wonderful. We don't need to stay paused. Feeling real comfy. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. No refunds either. You know, we had a little bit of a kerfuffle at the beginning, but we're good now. And I do wonder if I should just make this full connection right now. I guess the thing I'm checking for first is to see if guests start complaining about the views. Because if they do, then, you know, then I know I have to adjust that, but we'll see. Oh yeah, people are stopping to read. Am I going to see this actually go up? A better educated guest will spend more cash. Totally. Well, I'm hoping that... Oh, hey, you know what? That actually went up by 6%. Cool. Yay, this month. Isn't that how a lot of us are feeling now that Elite Zoo is back? I will say, I just want to say again, I want to stress just how much joy reading through the comments brought me. Just, wow. Y'all remain amazing, honestly. Need a workshop? No, I do not need a workshop, not urgently. Sure, let's go ahead and collect some conservation credits. Wow. Drop a donation while I'm watching. Alright. Not going to comment on the Panopticon effect, but I'll take it. Oh yeah, look at that. We've got people coming through. Are you heading to the donation bin? Maybe, maybe, maybe. Heading to 5 o'clock somewhere. People coming in from this side too. Alright, cool. Cool. So while we're waiting for some of the money to come through, I could maybe expand our terrain a little bit. How much does it cost here? Let me just check real quick. Because I've got some big plans, so I want to make sure I keep progressing on them, because otherwise we're not going to see... Like I said, just because we're not time-lapsing doesn't mean I want there to not be any progress at all, right? So I would like to... That was $100 bucks. That's not too bad. That's way too low, though. That's not what I wanted at all. That's not what I wanted at all. I think I want something more like this. It might still be too low. Basically, what I want to do is I want to have a section down over here that you get down to on a ramp. And this will be like a lower level, like a basin, where we're going to have South America. Right away, by the way, like right over here. We're going to pack it nice and dense. But I also want to redo the croc enclosure a little bit, croc rock a little bit, so you can actually see the crocodiles down over here as well. That's my thinking. Maybe I should do it from the path out, rather than waste money digging and then realizing I've dug too deep or not deep enough. So maybe I should stick to my original plan and do it from the path out. It's so weird sometimes doing this stuff in real time, because I'm so used to time-lapsing it every time. But I think it does help, like I've said before, it helps me think differently. So nice to see folks coming through. And you know what, right now, I think this is working just fine. We don't need to overdo it. Oh, please go to the donation bin. Please go to the donation bin. Fine, don't. You know what? Fine, don't. Go ahead. And put one down over here. It's 50 bucks, right? Yeah, it's no big deal. No big deal. I just want to see if that changes the behavior at all. Checking your phone. Where is our snake, anyway? Where is our little buddy? Where's our little guy? Blind. They did not drop a donation, by the way. Wow, where is this snake? I know you're in there. Can't find you. Let's actually go ahead and check again if we can get ourselves a female. Oh, of course, now the female roaches show up instead. Oh, how the game mocks me. It's okay. We're almost ready to buy another connection here anyway, so that's fine. The stalls are doing well as well, so that's good. And let's actually, hold on, before I overdo our digging and whatnot, go ahead and make this front area a little bit prettier. Because guest happiness is affected by aesthetic. So I want to make sure we are maximizing guest happiness as well. That way we're making sure that they are dropping the big bucks. Those buckaroos, as I believe they're called around these parts. I'm kidding. I should stop. so mean. I apologize. I couldn't resist. Let's go ahead and pull some of these over. I really like the color variation we're seeing as well. Also, yeah, some of you mentioned that you really like the overall look of the grassland and how warm and welcoming it is. Totally. Part of the reason why this episode was taking me, some time to get into was because I wanted to be very particular about what biome we pick, because I wanted to make sure that we have nice colors and it wasn't difficult to look at, and that we wouldn't get tired looking at it. That's always a serious concern when you're making a long series, right? So yeah, I'm glad y'all enjoy the overall look of the space so far. There we go. Well, not the space, but the environment, I suppose. The space has a long way to go before it looks okay. We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't you worry. Let's go ahead and put you down over here. Just cover that gap. Happy little trees, right? There you go. There you go. Oh, beautiful. Cool. Money's looking good as well. Money's on its way up. Yep, still making profits. It's April. We're at 1,200. Okay. It doesn't feel as good as I would like it to be. We're okay. I'm overthinking it. All right, let's go ahead and expand a little bit over here. It can't cost that much, right? It can't cost that much. Inspector has arrived. Hopefully things are okay. I can't imagine they're not. Go ahead and dig down over here. Close to, and again, we want to keep everything super accessible, right? Let's not forget that. Want to keep everything accessible. I think it'll make for not just a fun challenge, but it'll be a nice touch as well overall. There we go. Something like this. Wow, it took me so many tries to try and nail the height, and I didn't do it this time either. I was like, wow, I got it on the first try. I did not. Let's go ahead. I got to go down one more step, it seems like. One more step, and then we can come back up. Right? How's that? We'll find out. That seems better, because then you'll be standing at eye level. You'll be able to see, I think, the crocs. Let's see. Let's find out. I think we're close. And again, we have a bit more money now, so I'm not as worried about sculpting. And like having to undo versus just having spent the money. Because again, when you undo a construction, you get the money back, right, in its entirety. But when you have to cancel, or when you have to actually do the work of undoing, that's different. Yeah, this is about the right height, but I would like it to be flat down there rather than being tunneled all the way through. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Let's go ahead and undo all that. Undo part of it at least. Train stamp tool. Subtracting. Try and get this height right. Try and get this height right over here. Come on now. This is not my favorite tool to use, I'll be straight up. I'll be honest. Not my favorite tool to use. Okay, so that's about the right height, right? Seems to be. No, it is not. And it changes anyway, so what's the point? I hate that undoing it also undoes the adjustment to the tool type. That's about the right height. Okay, so let's try and get that right, because I want the I don't want the whole path to be tunneling down there and have that weird weirdness. I want it to be flat down there. Let's go ahead and undo all this. Hopefully we can pull the path back as well. We can indeed. Okay, cool. Now let's go ahead and drop this down. Looks too deep, doesn't it? Looks too deep, but we'll find out. Looks way too deep. Looks way too deep. Let's see here. Can always add more. Down another step. Down another step. That might be good. Go ahead and flatten terrain. A little too close to the edge there. Alright, all good. There we go. I'll load up. How did that happen? My apologies, folks. Little, clunky, this project. But we'll get there. There we go. That's about the right height, but I think we can rotate it a bit more aggressively. Not the right height? No. Down another step. That's what happens is like it wants to straighten out. You do that? Nah. That. Yes, I can be very particular about some of this stuff. That's why I like time lapses. Maybe this should have been a time lapse. Maybe this should have been a time lapse. Alright, come on now. This is the one. I can feel it. I can feel it. There we go. Beautiful. Yep. Wow, that actually is the one. Terrain modification failed, but that's probably because of the barrier over here. We can adjust that, and that won't be a problem anymore. Inspector has left. Report is ready for viewing. Okay, not bad. Cockroach's still good. Cleanliness still good. Education is better, I think, than it was prior. Right? So, silver lining thinking. That's good. Positive steps. Positive steps. Let's go ahead and move you over. You won't, will you? Come on, baby. You know you want to. Terrain too uneven for placement. Alright, well, all I really need is to be able to nudge this one over ever so slightly. That's all I really need. Right? Hopefully. Yep, the game likes that. Beautiful. Beautiful. The problem becomes, obviously, we want to. So I wanted to check that works first, and now I can go ahead and do this. In my head, this was significantly easier, faster, whatever you want to call it. Let's just go ahead and put you down like so. A little bit higher than that, don't I? Flip over to here. I think that'll do the trick. No, it will not. Come on now. I wish it would just draw up the terrain a bit more. Because I want it to be flat, I want it to be flush. I don't want to have the weird like gap underneath it. That's just weird to me. That's not how land works. This is also why I don't live stream all the time, is because like I can't imagine doing this in real time all the time, you know what I mean? But if y'all want it more often, you let me know. You want to go down one more step. You also don't want to go down one more step. Oh, I see the problem. Alright, cool. We got this. We got this. Knew it would happen eventually. And all the while, distracting you from us nearly hitting 10k again. We're getting there. Not going to be much longer. Go ahead and move you in ever so slightly. There we go. Don't need too much of an adjustment. And that should do the trick, right? No, it won't. Gotta push the terrain first. Hopefully it'll let me. We'll have to do a lot of adjusting over here afterwards. Oh, you want to work. There we go. Not really. Not really. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna leave this for later. I'm gonna leave this for when the sun's up at the very least. I mean, money is looking good. I might actually want to put down our roaches as well. Let's go ahead and check actually for our snake here real quick. There we go. Pick you up right away. Perfect. And 8,500, is that a comfy amount? Well, now it's all females. Great. I should have just picked up the one male. Would have been kind of wasteful, but honestly, I should have just picked it up. We have enough money to get it though, so that's good. How are these guys doing? 100% across the board. Still not getting down to work. That's okay, though. They don't mate for life or anything, do they? Oh, no. Don't tell me I've caused myself a different problem. Let's see. Species data, breeding season, approach a female. Males will tolerate females living on their territory, and females will look after their hatchlings for the first 8 months, etc., etc. Both sexes grow slowly throughout their whole lives. Doesn't seem like... Yeah, there's no relation with humans. Confident. Listen. Yeah, there's no... It's not like they're going to, you know, stay solo all their lives or anything, so we should be seeing that. Should be seeing babies come through. These donations are going to be marginal, but it's less about the donations, more about the breeding program, so to speak, of the snakes, and later the roaches. October, how much money do we make? 2 more months, do you think we'll make 4K in 2 more months? I should hope so. Ongoing expenses, they'll be the same. Purchases will be lower, I should hope. Right? So does that mean, I guess that means we made less of a profit this year so far. Well, hopefully the next month or so is enough for us to catch up on. Yeah, let's go ahead and undo some of this. I don't know why it's being so difficult for me right now. Right. We know that's where the line is, right? We know that's where the line is. Go ahead and the sun's back. Place you down over here. Place you down over here. At the very least, it gives us a reference point. But yes, flattened terrain. Terrain modification field. Yeah, why is it doing this hot mess? Let's go ahead and lower you a little bit. That way maybe it'll pull it up, I suppose, is what I can hope for. Flatten terrain. Terrain modification failed. Yeah, I mean, again, I guess it's because the barrier is so close, right? This is what I get for overcomplicating things. I could always give it a wider berth, obviously. That's not as cool. That's not as cool. That's not as elite. Pull you over just a touch more. I mean, again, any space on the land it takes is useless, right? So I want to make sure that we're not allowing the animal to technically escape. There we go. Good. Nudge this over a bit more. Yeah, I think we're good. Fair enough. Alright. Okay. Yeah, see, this is the stuff I don't understand. And I don't think I ever will. Go ahead and push you in a little bit. It won't let me nudge this in. Might because of the water, might because of the barrier. Too many elements. Alright, maybe I'll save that for a time lapse at some point. Though it bothers me to just kind of leave that hanging as it is. We will need to adjust that, but the plan is basically to have the... I can do a little bit more sculpting over here at the very least, so we make some progress here. Nice to make progress. But the plan is to line this up nicely, hopefully. Right? There we go. Go. More digging. We've got money. We're okay. There we go. Something like this, basically. Obviously, much bigger and much nicer looking. But something like this to add a bit more, again, verticality. It was something that was brought up a lot for the previous zoo, was that I did not have nearly enough like verticality. By which I mean, you know, like just undulations in the terrain and things like that. So I think this would be nice. And I might ramp it up over here as well, so it flattens up eventually. We at least have this nice space down over here where things are a little different. I think that'd be, I think it'd be a nice touch. I think it'd be an interesting experience as well for the guests. And we have, again, it's an accessible space as well, so we don't have to build any elevators or anything yet. My initial version was going to be a sheer cliff face kind of a thing, but I realized the water's not that deep. And the thing is, crocodiles don't go deep into the water, they stay on the surface. Hippos go deep into the water. So, when we do the hippo enclosure, which we will do eventually, we're going to have some fun with that. We're going to have some fun with the depth and stuff that we can apply to that, I suppose, is the way to put it. Where are you? There you are. And put you right over there. I'll say it's a little too deep. And again, I could also do the thing where I like temporarily make this too small. Hope the animal doesn't escape and that we have to pay a bunch of refunds. That would be bad. No, it might actually be the water. Let's see. Are they still in the water right now? Or are they both out? They are in the water right now. I could pull them out. There's work to be done. Would rather not, though. The guests are enjoying them at the moment. And I can hope that they'll come up there, but we've got a lot of guests over here. Right next to a donation bin. I shouldn't pull them away from that. Alright, fair enough. That's fine. That's fine. So let's go ahead and get the flatten to foundation out. Got money? Yep. Just smooth this out a little bit. There we go. Again, it's not all that much money, but it gives us a bit of a, vision of the future, so to speak. And that was my hope for today's session, is like not only solidify the fact that the quote-unquote problems from the last session are taken care of, but also start developing things a little bit further so we can see where we're headed next, right? And this is where I want to do, again, South America. So we're going to have the llamas, we've got the capuchin monkey, there's a new type of frog. Well, I say new, it's old now, but, from the DLC. There's the anteaters, and there is the Baird's tapir as well. And I'm wondering... Such great news. Offspring en route. But yeah, I'm wondering if I want to do the Baird's tapir, because we did them for Elite Zoo North. They, I believe, fit our theme of Elite Zoo South as well. If I'm not mistaken. I can always check. Baird's tapir. What do you say? Where's our equator? Our equator is like roughly over there, right? I don't know. I don't know, actually. Again, this is supposed to be southern equator animals, or sorry, southern hemisphere animals with a touch of northern hemisphere. So, is the Baird's tapir our crossover? It could be. It could be. All right, baby's en route. That's good. This is, sculpting into space, into place, rather, I should say. Money has come through. We're above 10k now, so now I'm feeling extremely comfortable about our time-lapse next session. It's not going to be a problem, considering how much money we're spending on all this sculpting stuff. Because I do think the next time-lapse is going to be adding llamas in. I'm thinking llamas. I mean, y'all let me know what you want to see. I'm thinking llamas. They're a walk-through enclosure, so we can make a fun little, experience down here for them. Ooh. I've got some plans. Yeah, I think we'll do llamas. We could do a fun little walkthrough, and then as they complete the walkthrough along the edges, we can have our monkeys and stuff. But my hope is to go back and forth, do South America, Africa, South America, Africa, something like that. But again, it all depends on demand. Have your voice heard, folks. Have your voice heard. And leaving a comment, obviously, always welcome. If you mention your preferences and stuff in the Discord as well, that also works for me. Just let me know one way or another. I like to take it into account. What am I looking for? I'm looking for our exhibit trading. And now it's all males. This is funny. I'm just going to pick one up. Which one of you is better? Wyatt? Alright, sure. It's a rescue. A rescue roach? Sure. Waiting in the trade center, that's fine. I could drop him in. Let's go ahead and do that. I mean, again, slowed things down a little bit today, but I think it was worth it. Taking a slightly cautious approach to today's session, but I think it's necessary. In all seriousness, puns aside, I think it was necessary. I want to do this. I want to make sure we're lined up properly here. Well, I guess the best way would be to do that. And then have it not snap to both sides, because why would it do that? Why would it? Thanks, game. Guess I could put you down, ungroup you, and then move you. That is an option. At least now we know we're lined up. Yeah, I suppose I could do it that way. Alright, cool. Go ahead and snap you to that side. go ahead and ungroup you. There we go, split from group. Now I should be able to do that. Cool, beautiful. Height should be right because we snapped it. Yeah, we're good. I want to go right down the middle, so I believe I'll want to do that. We did used to get crowds over here, so hopefully we're not harming our goals here. Yeah, I guess I could nudge this over a bit more as well. That'd be okay. Why can I not use the move tool? Come on now. Oh, I see, because it's considered its own group still. That's funny. There, I think that's more correct. I think that's more correct. Go ahead and move you. This is where education starts becoming, you know, not an issue, but something to consider. Go ahead and move you over here. Next to this TV and bin. Right? But let's duplicate you over to here. Next to this bin and TV. Reduce your volume a little bit because people are going through an overlap section. There we go. There we go. Like I said, this space was going to become a lot more active as we went along. That's why it's so huge. The enclosure just wraps everything up, I suppose, in a nice way, but there's going to be a lot of activity over here. This is our entrance plaza, so that's the intent there. Go ahead and get Wyatt in there. Yep. Send you in. And here we should have all the research done already. Now the layout climate is fine, but I just gotta, you know, pretend I actually set it because the game likes that. And here we do have, yes, all of our stuff available. Beautiful. People cannot reach, that's fine. It's an easy fix. Go ahead and add. Done. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Now, I know this looks hideous right now, but bear with me. It's going to look beautiful. You know, in fact, I could start beautifying it right now. Part of me really wants this to be a lot deeper, even though it doesn't make sense to do. We'll see. I think I'll tackle this in next session's time-lapse. I think that'd be best. But I wanted to get the idea out there of what's going on over here. So we have, like, low over here, high over here. Now, I do want to also check, actually, the negative impact on these things. Why can I not see the radius? Does hard mode not show you the radius? Is that a thing? 'Cause that would be silly. That would be silly. 'Cause I want to make sure that if guests come up over here, they're not going to be bothered by the facilities beneath them. If they will be, then I'll just raise the floor level here a little bit. Though, from my understanding, if I put some decorative elements down over here, that radius will be reduced. And from my memory, the reduced radius is significantly reduced, so we should be fine if we're able to do that. Now, where is our lovely lady over here? Where are you at? Oh, is that you? You look like it. Yep. Offspring imminent. Oh, hey. What do you know? What do you know? Are you headed to the land to deliver? Because once those babies come through, we're going to start making even more bank. That's going to be wonderful for us. That's going to be great for us. So I'll put you down over here. Get out of that group. Add you to this group. Duplicate you. Put you down over here. Right. Pop you down over here. There we go. And let's make sure these are the right animal, obviously. Roach. The roach. There we go. Done. Go ahead and get these donation bins over as well. Because if I'm not mistaken, like, let me just check. Yeah, see, this one does not get any exhibit animal donations. So let's go ahead and put these down over here. And that should do the trick. Surprisingly busy, actually, for just how many animals we have. Surprisingly busy. And what's this? We've adopted and placed 2 different exhibit species. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and claim that reward. Get up to 300 guests. Might actually throw out a an advertising campaign soon. Get us across that line, right? Wouldn't be a terrible idea. These guys really like their snakes, I suppose. Look good over here. What's the problem here? Vet research complete. I imagine that's the snakes, a level or so. Oh, 2 levels. Okay, cool. So now we should have access to some layouts. Wonderful. Happy animal means more donations. I don't know why people would want to see roaches, but I suppose there's something for everyone. Immediate crowd drawn, which is funny to me. I will take it. Hopefully they'll put down some donations. And hopefully we have a male, right? Yes. Go ahead and get Ava over here. Adopt you. Send you. Done. That was bronze ranked as well, if I'm not mistaken, so draw more eyes to our roaches. Cool. Alright, okay. Where have you had your babies yet? Not yet, eh? Offspring imminent. Come on. Gotta do a little lie down, I suppose. Then we'll have our baby crocs. But yeah, we're out of our money hole. We're fine. It's August. We've already made 4K. We're fine. Now when we add the llama, we'll be more than okay. We didn't even need the, sales routine of the exhibit animals. Now my plan here, just to let y'all know, is to add a bit of a canopy up and down the middle, using these as like, center points, I suppose we can call it. And then down over here as well, I was kind of mentioning I'd get started on it, but I guess not. We'll do that again during the time lapse. But this is going to have a bit of a canopy as well, and it's going to be a nice sheltered walkway. Gonna have some eating and stuff going on in the area as well before maybe we get into our enclosure over here. Now, there they are. Well, there one is. That's a poop. These are not baby crocs. Okay. I like from this distance. I was like, oh yeah, we've got 2. No, we have 1. We have 1. And his name is Ajij, and his genes are pretty good. Pretty good. Oh, what a cutie. Having a good time, buddy? Doing okay? Doing okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Folks, we've comfortably crossed the 10K threshold. We've got ourselves a baby croc. Arguably many baby crocs. I think we can comfortably call it a session over here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, no time lapse this time. A little break from tradition, I suppose, of almost always doing... No, actually, I guess that is the tradition. We almost always do a time lapse as well as management, but I think it was necessary. We still got a lot done. It's not like we were a stagnant episode today. Swapped in the animals, got our first 2 exhibits over here. Spread out the education, got those donation bins down. Yeah, everything over here is fine. The work zones are set up. I think we're doing okay. Trained up some of our staff as well. Hopefully they're all done training, so that's good. I could give them another little boost before I forget. Workloads are better now already, so that's good. They're just working faster, right? They're just working faster there. We can afford higher salaries with their higher standing, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, and then next session, which will be on Saturday at midnight EST, we're going to expand and get our second enclosure, and that should allow us to really rake in the money and complete the first and the second enclosure. Or with the 10K I have, I stay focused on Croc Rock and finish that first. Y'all let me know what you think. I'm always looking for your thoughts and opinions and suggestions and whatever else it might be. It's always good to hear from y'all what you want to see next, but I think we could go either way. One route makes us more money faster. The other route is more about completing a space before moving on from it. I'm cool with either personally. So yeah, let me know down below. Time to say farewell, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. As always, it makes a massive difference in how I approach content on the channel, what I do, how I do it, and how much I do of it. As always, a massive thanks goes out to all of my channel members and patrons for supporting the channel on a monthly basis. You keep us alive and running smoothly. And a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.